Hello, welcome back and welcome in. My name is Nikki Wheeler. If you're interested in gaming, go subscribe to my other channel and follow my Twitch to see my gaming live. Now, let's start this video. Today, I will be discussing Dodie. She was a huge phenomenon on YouTube from her time of starting in 2011 all the way up until now, gaining millions of views for her covers and originals throughout the years. She was commonly partnered with her significant other at the time, John Cozart, singing these songs. And as these years went on, she went to officially release these songs on EPs in her first official debut album. There are a total of 5 EPs and 1 album. Starting off with the first EP titled Intertwined, released in November 2016. It has 6 songs, one of which was an interlude. Out of all the songs in here, I think Intertwined and Sick of Losing Soulmates were the best. In Intertwined, it speaks of a lover. When the world gets bad and you have that numb feeling and succumb to fear, they come around and the feeling goes away and you feel safe. I think this can be taken in 2 ways, one unhealthy and one healthy. In the healthy way, you see it as a comfort in a person, and it's just that simple, versus the unhealthy coping issue that has rendered you codependent on or obsessive of them for happiness. It reminds me of a song that could potentially be in a Disney movie just because of the softness of it. Maybe in a movie like Little Mermaid, where the subject matter was more heavily influenced because Ariel was so attached to Eric. I also wanted to say that I love the name and term intertwined. It is a much better word than tangled or twisted because it doesn't have a negative connotation behind it. It is generally one of those words that you can't mess up, and I find it beautiful. You can obviously tell that Dodie is inspired and was once a poet just by the writing style and how she has turned her beautiful poetry into sweet and supple lyrics with simple riffs from a ukulele. The next song, Sick of Losing Soulmates, describes the feeling of trying to keep your significant other and after losing them, how hard it is to stay friends with them no matter how close you once were. So much has changed over the course of the relationship that it would never be the same afterwards if it were to happen. She naturally struggles to deal with the situation and promises to not mix a friend and relationship again. The pre-chorus of the song is my favorite part because it discusses the vulnerability and trust needed to maintain these types of relationships, as she recognizes the importance of not taking no for an answer. In the end, it is effortless to maintain a healthy relationship, and both parties have to be a part of that. I love the simplicity of it all and how easy it is to get that idea. The following year, in 2017, Dodie released her next independent EP titled You. Again, a 6-song record, one being an interlude. This one included the iconic Would You Be So Kind, and one of my favorites, In the Middle. The song Would You Be So Kind is a longing and courageous track where we hear the narrator asking someone to take a chance and fall in love with them. Mutuality is high in faith, and in the way the lyrics say, the song speaks of the potential risk of loving someone back. I love the ambiguity in the song because we don't know if there ever is an answer, and how each section of the song easily trucks through the music and goes into the next. Dodie is known for her soft vocals and soft instruments, and I think a song like this is good for that, but I would also love to see her revisit this one and make it a more loud to see what it would be like, because it would seem more like a question rather than a passive request. Either way, the song was successful, and we all know why. It's highly relatable. No one likes being rejected, so it is easier to ask the person to take the chance than never knowing. The next song, In the Middle, was a little more of a shift when it comes to topics. Obviously, just by the title, you can tell it's about the middleman in a relationship that is hellishly complicated. Dodie sings an offering to be the third person and trying to help this relationship and come to an understanding to get closure despite the differences. The chorus emphasizes that people should do this much more, shake hands, and accept the differences to create a better environment for themselves and others. It leans into the weird feeling by imagining yourself as the middleman, and I think that was kind of the goal. I think it is a part of life to have that awkward feeling, and I think the song applies that feeling and how it is okay to work it out. Now, in 2019, Dodie released another EP titled Human. This EP was the one that reintroduced me into Dodie as a creator after the drought on YouTube during this time for me. This EP had 7 songs, all of which are full songs. My favorites are She, If I'm Being Honest, and Burned Out. She has always been a favorite for me, as most popular songs are, but I like this one because it was one of the first openly sapphic songs from Dodie after she came out as bisexual years prior. The song is about required love and goes into great detail about this girl she is captivated by, down to the smell and taste of her. However, she is aware of the unattainable goal and keeps her feelings down. One of my favorite parts of this song was the bridge, and you will hear me say this so much throughout my videos because I always appreciate a good bridge. It was the acceptance part of the song, and only admiring from afar is the option she is given, as being close only makes her seem even farther. I love the vivid imagery in this song. Again, in music, I love imagery, so her talking about taste and smells just makes this song work so much better in my head because I can picture the smells as if I was there. The next song is titled If I'm Being Honest. This song explored themes of self-worth and uncertainty. Again, with the bridge, this one is simple. It's the word all multiple times. Seems weird that I would like this part, but listening to it, it adds so many emotional barriers and adds to the overall sentiment to the song because it is elegant and somewhat dainty. Another reason I love this song was the music. It had some sort of string instrument. I'm not sure which one. I'm not a musical genius here, but it gave the song the drawn out feeling and added the point to the lyric, could you love this? Did you plan to fall? Then you move into the third and final song I wanted to talk about in this EP, Burned Out. Disillusionment and pressure to perform is the main focus of this song. Obviously being about her own career and how she is evidently burned out. It can obviously apply to more than just your career because it talks about the questioning mind of the true desire for what you are currently failing and disappointing yourself with. Allowing yourself to fail and knowing it's okay is a main goal in life here because it shows that you care. Constant battles are fought and you were there for each and every one. There's an underlying sense of emptiness and superficiality as you think the voices of admiration are the only ones with the power to uplift. The bridge reveals the conflict within the singer and expresses a desire to talk about it but retract in fear of vulnerability. To me, the internal struggles add so much more depth to the narrative and showcases the difficulty of expressing feelings about oneself. Out of the three songs, I want to say She is still my favorite, but each song on this EP was beautifully written. Now, the next EP was released in 2021, a month before the debut album. It is titled I Kissed Someone, It Wasn't You. All of the songs went on to the album, so I will just immediately jump into talking about that. The title is Build a Problem. It was split into two sides, 14 songs, some which are bonuses, and then the second half is demos. Out of the main section of the LP, I loved Hate Myself, Sorry, and Boys Like You, and of the demos, I liked Bite Back, In the Bed, and Don't Quite Belong. It is quite a constant throughout Dodie's career and lyrical prowess that she tends to put herself down, and that's what Hate Myself is about, obviously. The lyrics in this one suggest that she's always second-guessing herself and filling the gaps of what others are thinking, which leads to huge misunderstandings. There's a sense of frustration within the chorus because she can't read other people's minds. It is a constant battle with your own mind and the horrible habits of overthinking, leading to be one of the more relatable tracks throughout. I loved the easygoing tune that is also quite inquisitive when it comes to the chorus. The next song is Sorry. This one follows the theme of regret and self-reflection. A quick and abrupt situation unfolds, leaving the narrator like they are being hung out to dry emotionally. It also highlights the struggles to comprehend the situation that just happened and the frustration of being oblivious to the signs beforehand. My favorite part was the outro. One of the best endings to the song is a solution. This ending acknowledges the flaws of themselves and accepts the responsibilities for their action after referring to themselves as a monster. Musically, this one was also so good, considering there are string instruments as well as like the last EP, and it has sort of a nostalgic feel like it was 2016 Dodie all over again, just with a modern story. The next song I wanted to talk about was Boys Like You. This is my personal favorite song from Dodie over all of her releases. It delves into the complexities of love and attraction, especially when they don't have the best intentions, and you know it. You may know better, but you can't help an attraction. Using the lyrics, so watch me fall for every damn stereotype, makes the delivery seem much easier than the intro. A majority of the song is hyped up for me because of the delivery. She uses whispers, enunciation, and higher notes, and they all combined so well. Now for the demos, out of all the ones I mentioned, I think Don't Quite Belong is the best one. It explores the theme of feeling disconnected and out of place socially. It kind of pictures the unspoken codes and expectations within society that everyone follows, but some still struggle. Overall, it is just a song about confusion on why we have these rules and why we feel left out. Because being singled out can be one of the worst feelings in the world because it's cold and isolating. Being unable to articulate these feelings of stress and discomfort also topples all of these feelings and can make you feel them 10 times over. We are our own worst enemies, and the thought of inadequacy makes it seem much more real. This demo was a good listen, and I think it should be turned into a fully produced song one day. I would love to see how the instrumental and delivery changes if she does come back to it. Finally, the last EP is Hot Mess, released in September of 2022. It was also short, only 4 songs, but I loved 2 of the songs, Hot Mess and Got Weird. The first song is about coming to terms with a difficult relationship and expresses the desire to move on from a sticky situation, but also try and make light of it. The term hot mess to me is like a mocking diss to themselves and their feelings of vulnerability and inability to cope with certain situations. The chorus is my favorite part because, again, it acts like a resolution to let go. I think sonically wise, I prefer some of Dodie's older work, but this one had me on my knees for some reason. And the same goes for Got Weird. The awkwardness in romantic experiences is the main focus, and how a breakdown of anxiety causes the growth of a relationship to halt and get quote-unquote weird. The song later talks about how it is okay to be weird and it can be a blessing and a curse, which can create barriers between certain people and building relationships with others because it is your true and honest self. In the end, Dodie expresses even more vulnerability and hopes for an understanding that this awkwardness is a part of her personality and can't be changed. That has been one goal throughout the years with her music, and I love that about it. She herself has made a personality off of just simple things like being weird and being okay with it. And even through doubt, we shake it off and push through. Dodie has evolved in such a short period, but has maintained the same humble and awkward person, staying true to herself. Her lyrics show that in every way, and conveying such emotion can only mean one thing: she is a powerhouse. She may not think she is the best, but through her music, she has made a name for herself and has showed us time and time again how she is one of the greatest songwriters. I highly suggest her music if you like bedroom pop, indie, and contemporary folk. Now, this is why I wanted to rank the EPs. This is going to be a best to worst scale and take lyrics, music, and vocal capability into consideration. At number 1, I have Human. Number 2 is Intertwined. Number 3 is Hot Mess. Number 4 is You. And number 5 is I Kissed Someone It Wasn't You. I cannot rank albums because there is currently only one, but if she releases another one sometime soon, I will revisit and rank those. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Comment down below for what I should cover next, and until next time, bye guys.